If you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll see how modern women advise other women to seek out men who are financially responsible for them, how they tell them to stop dating for love and only go out with men who pay the bills, and how a dramatic woman makes up a story about a stranger who was just throwing away his trash. We want to invite you to smash that like button and help us reach 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year so we can get our first plaque. That's the only contribution we ask of you, brother. Add your grain of sand to the movement. Share your experiences in the comments for any man who might need them. And without further ado, let's get started.
So I have a date at 8 p.m. This is the girl math. Oh my God, I have a list right now. This is the girl math that men will never understand. So he's making me about 7:30, which means realistically, I kind of want to be ready by like 7-ish because I want to be able to like maybe take some pictures. This all goes to hell. At least I'll get cute Instagram pictures out of it. I'm not about to waste a cute outfit and makeup. I need to start doing makeup at 6, which means I need to have showered probably by like 4:30, which is the time now because I need time for my hair to dry and moisturize and like do all my other things. It means I had to be home by 3:30. I had to literally block off my entire afternoon for a date at 8 p.m. And men will never understand. When men are like, oh, I want to split the bill, fuck you. You weren't making these sacrifices for an 8 p.m. date. No, you just showed up. Here I am in a towel at 4:30.
Oh, hell no!
We always say the first date should be a coffee date because, as men, our intention is to get to know you, to see if this woman is suitable for a relationship, to observe how she expresses herself, and to learn things about her, how she qualifies herself with me. There are many affordable places where coffee dates can take place in a pleasant setting. If a woman expects you to take her to a 5-star restaurant on the first date, then she should pay for it, because I assure you, she's not dressing up for you. She's dressing up for her Instagram. She needs a simp to get into those expensive places that she can't access alone, unless she goes with her group of friends to spend the minimum just to take pictures. Men, don't be the free meal and photo for any woman. Photos where everything will show up except for you, the sponsor. If she wants a nice date, she first has to go on a coffee date and show me through her actions that she's a woman worth investing my time and money in. Remember, you are the prize. Drizzle, drizzle.
If you're over the age of 25, you should not be dating for fun anymore. You should be dating for funds.
And here I thought the purpose of dating was to find a life partner. Apparently, it's to find a meal ticket.
And that means only dating guys that have money, that can do something for you, and that will benefit your life and your lifestyle.
When this is the type of advice that's given out, no wonder so many men have decided to give up on dating. They never know if the woman is after them for who they are or for what they hold in their bank account.
Don't be dating for fun no more. Start dating for funds. And what that means is if he can't help you, if he can't contribute to you, if he can't give you money to invest, start a business with, say, buy clothes, shop, or just pay some bills and make your life better, then you're wasting your time with him.
I'm starting to wonder if any of the women that actually take this advice seriously even know how to stand on their own or hold down a job. I seriously doubt it.
You're old enough to know better. We're old enough to know better.
Old enough to know better indeed. And they also should be old enough to know that this type of rhetoric goes against everything that women have fought for years to be considered independent and taken seriously. And taking this type of advice will only lead to a lifetime of dependence on men.
Stop it. Get some help.
These are the toxic pieces of advice that modern women listen to because they all claim to be strong and independent, but they want to be that way with their husbands' or boyfriends' money. Remember, today's feminism is about entitlement, not equality. It's about, I deserve this and that from the man, because that's the bare minimum he should do. And they disguise this with the word provider. The thing is, if you sell yourself as a product, you can't complain about being used. What I mean is, if you tell me I have to invest my money in you to be with you, you can't complain when I want to see a return on my investment because, in this case, the one who owns the money makes the rules. If you want a man to treat you like you belong to the streets, don't get mad when he moves on from you because, as a product, your shelf life has expired. That's why empowered and independent women are always the ones who can never keep a man. That's why men only have fun with them but never settle down with them. Because they're just the women men enjoy spending their money on, but they're not the ones he chooses to build a life with.
If dating for love isn't working out for you, date for money. I'm being dead serious. My dating approach has been unbelievably pure for my entire life. Never cared about the financial status of the guy. Have dated people with less money than me. Have always gone 50-50 in relationships. Has never been financially taken care of by a guy. I just wanted to fall in love and have a genuine partnership and connection with someone. And
valid.
Guess where that's gotten me? Used. Taken advantage of. Single. My ex, who I thought I was in love with at the time, we split everything 50-50, including rent. We lived together. That he was never gonna marry me. He was never gonna settle down with me. The guy who I've had genuine feelings for has just hurt me.
You are so close. This doesn't mean you need to go to the polar opposite and just start using other men for money. So you felt like you were being used in your relationships, right? So you're going to turn around and do the same thing to these other men. Hence, punishing all these other men for the actions of your exes. And that's not right. Here's the thing is we all know that there are people out there who will use you. It doesn't matter the gender. That's why you need to have boundaries on how much you're willing to give. And if your underlying expectation was to get marriage out of the relationship, you need to communicate that up front. You need to have your limits. Some men don't want to get married these days, and it's valid, but you also need to protect yourself if for you that's a must-have. I have been in these same situations myself, and once I was like, okay, this is what I'm willing to put up with, this is what I'm not. And I was very fair with it, and I was willing to set boundaries but not be too unreasonable with them. My dating options massively improved. And now I'm with the man of my dreams. And yeah, he doesn't make six figures. Yeah, he doesn't buy me fancy stuff every day. But he is willing to share everything that he has with me. We have a genuine, loving connection. If you only use people for money or the resources they can give you, you're not going to have deep, loving relationships. You're going to have very shallow relationships. And I know some women are like, well, I have my girlfriends, I don't care. Well, throughout your life, your girlfriends will be close to you and far away from you. Because ultimately, we all prioritize our romantic relationships over our friends. That's just how it works. And yes, having girlfriends is absolutely wonderful. But you're going to want someone by your side that's your partner, where you will be first most of the time. And that's going to be in your romantic relationship. So you want that to be a deep connection.
Here, I want you to notice two things. First, the importance of making sure the woman invests in the relationship. This woman was more attached to this man because she was investing in the relationship. A woman will do absolutely anything for the man she feels genuine interest in, including paying his bills. That's why you should never settle for a woman who doesn't treat you as her best option. Now, it seems this woman chose a Chad, a man who brings nothing to the table except his seed. She invested in a man who was playing with her, keeping her on an emotional roller coaster. Now she feels hurt because that man left her, and she wants to change her focus. Here, I want you to notice a difference between men and women. When a man has a toxic woman, his next partner is usually the complete opposite. We learn the first time how we don't like to be treated. Women, on the other hand, when they like a certain type of man, almost never stray from that type. If she likes bad boys, she'll change men many times, but never her taste in men. They all tend to have the same characteristics, the same bad boy with a different cover. That's why I can guarantee that now she wants to change, but she'll end up making the same mistake again because she blames men, not herself, for her taste in men.
Messages for the men. Do y'all ever give your homeboys good advice?
Of course we do. It's just not the advice that you want us to give. Now, based on your video, it sounds like the advice you want us giving our homeboys is pursue the woman no matter what. No matter how toxic she is, no matter how severe the daddy issues, no matter how many bunnies she's boiled or tires she's slashed in her past, no matter how unfaithful or promiscuous she is, she's entitled to the value that a man will add to her life, even though she adds zero value to his. So if you can work out the girl math for me on that one, that'd be great. But while we're on the subject of advice, how do you reconcile wanting men to convince their friends to get into relationships with some of the most insufferable and toxic women on the planet, while simultaneously pressuring your married friends to put their marriages at risk to go out on a Friday night and be a 304 with you at the club? Now, if your married friend succumbs to that pressure and goes out with you and pretends to be single so that you don't have to be a 304 alone, she was never wife material to begin with. So now the question becomes, when do you ladies stop encouraging your friends to disrespect their men and their relationships?
Exactly, because single women over 30 who are on the wall and bitter only create more single women. At this stage, especially women should know how to set boundaries with their friends. Many succumb to this pressure, being told, now you're just that man's servant, or, since you got married, you're not yourself anymore. As if that man owns you and you can never go out. It's not about ownership, it's about respect and setting boundaries. If you're a married woman, why go to a club with a single friend? Why meet up with her friends in a place with alcohol if you know that could end badly? It's about learning not to put yourself in a position that could lead to failure or ruin your relationship.
Okay, call me paranoid, but I feel like the girls will know what I'm talking about, okay? So I'm sitting in my car, right? I'm doing my makeup in my car. And anytime I'm sitting in my car, if anyone walks over towards the general vicinity that my vehicle is located in, I just assume they're coming for me, right? Man, woman, black, white, green, purple, I don't give a fuck, right? They're targeting me. That's what's happening, okay? So right now, I'm parked next to the dumpsters at this apartment complex, okay? People gotta throw their trash away. That's just how that goes. Well, this dude's walking over towards my car. So already the thoughts are swirling, right? But he's got a trash bag in his hand, so it's obvious what he's doing. He's going to throw his trash away, and I'm parked by the dumpsters. So it's very clear, but in my head, I'm like, what if he comes for me? Okay, make sure my car is locked, right? My car's locked, but the seatbelt's off, because just in case he gets in somehow, I can make a quick escape. I don't have a seatbelt stopping me. I can swiftly get out of here, right? But then what if he has a gun? What if he holds me at gunpoint? Okay, if he wants the car, easy, car's his. I don't give a fuck about the car. He can have the damn car, right? I don't need it. Okay? But what if he holds me at gunpoint and then tells me to drive and he's taking me somewhere? Then I already know that that light post over there is what I will ram my car into on the passenger side, making sure that he's injured and I can get a quick escape and run for my life. Right? This is all going through my head. He throws his trash away and he goes right back home. As he should, as he was obviously going to do, but I'm over here like, whew, that was a close one. You know, good thing I was prepared.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
You should stick to writing fiction books because you're just being dramatic. Why is it that all women always think the whole world has some interest in them or is constantly watching them? When in reality, that man was probably just throwing out his trash and didn't even notice if you were there or not. Plus, if you're making up these stories in your head every time you find yourself alone, you need to see a psychiatrist. If this is what you thought in this situation, imagine what goes through your head if you're alone with a man. As a man, if you tell me this story, instead of you being scared, I'd be the one desperate to get away from you, because you're clearly crazy.
Fuck up, you crazy bitch whore!
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll see how women, after hitting the wall, end up alone and bitter, turning into Karens. We'll discuss how a woman accuses her neighbor of shady dealings just because he owns a Rolls-Royce, and how another shameless neighbor gets angry when her neighbor changes his Wi-Fi password. We want to invite you to smash that like button and help us reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year to get our first plaque. That's the only support we ask from you, man. Add your grain of sand to the movement. Share your experiences in the comments for any man who might need them. And without further ado, let's get started.
I am 41 years old, single, without kids, living in a van outside my mom's house. But I'm on the next chapter of my life. I'm currently building a tiny home next door, like literally next door to my mom. This is my tiny home I'm building, and it's literally next door to my mom's house. This is my mom. Mom, you happy that I'm moving next door?
Yeah.
The look on the mother's face is more of pity than happiness. I want to highlight the double standard in society. When women are asked what a loser man is, they always say something like a man who lives with his parents. If this had been a 41-year-old man, childless, living in a van in his mother's yard, everyone would call him a loser. But because it's a woman, you see comments praising her as some kind of hero. That's a loser, 41 years old, no kids, divorced, didn't manage to give that lady any grandchildren, and now has to live in her yard instead of being married and bringing the kids to their grandmother on weekends. Maybe that would wipe that pitiful look off her face. I'm not mocking her because this is sad. I'm pointing this out so people can see the number of women who fall by the wayside. Women who end up homeless or living in a tiny room in their parents' house. Feminists omit this and just say, be strong and independent, but not all of them succeed. That's why many smart women find a beta provider or a husband who can secure their financial future through marriage in exchange for giving him children and intimacy. But others fail again when they follow the divorce trend, only to end up like this woman, at the wall, because the wall doesn't forgive.
Car out here.
What? Which one?
The Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
And you own a Rolls Royce?
Yeah, like, what's wrong with that?
Like, you're younger than my grandkid.
Okay.
Like, you're doing some dodgy business or something. Is that how you afford it?
I beg your pardon?
Well, look, car like this, you know, I mean, it's a bit grand, isn't it, for a 21-year-old?
Okay. Excuse me, are you touching my car?
Yeah.
Why?
Very nice, but you must be doing something dodgy to own a car like that at your age.
What do you mean I'm doing something dodgy?
Well, you know.
No, I don't know.
You're only just out of nappies, really. You've got a Rolls Royce.
All right, love. Well, and what's your point?
Well, I just think you must be doing something dodgy.
Is that sound coming from you, love?
It's me. You know, I mean, I live round here and it's
Okay.
respectable.
Yeah, and what's wrong with me living here?
Well, I just want to know how a kid like you can afford a car like that.
Well, what I want to know is how a woman like you can't afford that.
Well, I wouldn't really want one, to be honest, but...
Well, I do want one. Well, I did want one, and I've got one, and that's how I got it, love.
Still seems dodgy to me.
Well, it's not dodgy, love. It's what seems dodgy is you coming here and then asking like why have I got it? Like it's none of your business.
How'd you get the money?
What do you mean? Well, I worked for it.
But you have to see things to believe them. It's true that there are nosy people in this life. Why does it matter to her that this young man has a Rolls Royce? Envy is a powerful feeling. And then she says, "You're younger than my grandson. How is it possible that you have a car like this?" Who knows? Maybe he's smarter than your grandkids and knows how to make money. What you're looking at here is a nosy Karen who lives like a security camera, always watching what the neighbors are doing. And there are many envious people like that who think that anyone with money must be doing something wrong. It's the mentality of the poor, while some people know different businesses or offer services that allow them to make a lot of money. But let's move on to the second part.
What sort of work do you do?
None of your business. That's what kind of work.
Well, if you can't tell me what sort of work you do, it must be something dodgy.
Why is it?
Because if it was something normal, you could...
What, I could tell you?
You could tell me what you did for a living.
Well, but the thing is, yeah, love, yeah, it's none of your business.
Just looks dodgy to me.
Yeah,
Car
but it's
like
not...
that. I don't know, 100 grand, something?
Yeah, well, 200.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, bloody hell indeed.
Do you know, there's some people who can't afford to eat, and you've got a car like that at your age.
Well, that's great for them. I can eat. And I can also drive a 200 grand car. Look and get them.
And there's always the moralistic speech. You have money while others don't. Maybe this man works harder than others. Maybe he works smarter. There could be 1,000 reasons. But the truth is, she doesn't care how this man got his car. This is a Karen neighbor who just wants to know how he does his business, probably to go and tell her grandkids. That's what she really wants to know, which is why she starts with this shady business talk. I would have told her to get off my property. There's nothing worse than having a woman at the wall as a neighbor. Everything bothers her. Since she has no one to argue with at home, she starts picking fights with the neighbors, snooping into their lives, or going to their house like she's part of the neighborhood committee. She just wants to cause trouble out of selfishness. That's why the wall doesn't forgive, because it leaves them alone and bitter.
It's funny because it's true.
I'm on the board, along with another board member.
Would you like to see the...
No, we're well aware.
I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. If you hate HOAs but you live in one, you need to run for the board of directors. The only reason these kinds of controlling freaks get on the board is usually by default because of two reasons. First of all, people that hate HOAs don't run for the board, so therefore the only types of people that usually run for the board are people that are crazy control freaks. The second reason, most residents don't attend their HOA board meetings or elections for board members. So at the very least, you should show up to those HOA meetings if you live in an HOA. Otherwise, you probably shouldn't be complaining too much when the overpowering, crazy Karens get the position of power. But I'm speaking from experience. I've been the president of my HOA for a year now. It's pretty damn easy. It's like maybe 3 hours of work per month because I'm actually doing it the right way. Let the management company handle most of the stuff. I just have to say yes or no to certain decisions. Just don't let the power-hungry people take the positions of power. It's not that hard.
Absolutely. When one of these single and bitter Karens rises to power, it becomes hell for everyone. Give a narcissist power, and you'll see how they turn into a dictator. That's exactly what happens. They immediately want to make rules and control your property as if it were theirs. This is why people move out. The neighborhood becomes a nightmare. Just imagine coming home tired, only to have some woman, just because she's on the neighborhood committee, come and start a fight at your house. I'd immediately tell her to get off my property. Take this advice, man. Don't let one of these Karens take over the neighborhood committees, because if you're a man, you'll be her target. But watch the next video. I promise you'll get a good laugh out of it.
Has changed your Wi-Fi password because I was doing some work and nothing. I got logged out. I thought it was funny, but can I have your new one, please?
So wait, Shadow, why do you want my Wi-Fi? I'm a bit confused.
Well, why do I want it? Well, when I moved in and I came in for coffee, and you were very welcoming with your mum and everything, and you said make yourself at home. So when you went to make my tea, I made myself at home. I took a picture of your Wi-Fi password and everything that you got there, and it was great. I've been using it ever since because I've started doing some work remotely from home, and of course, when I log in, it's great. I mean, it's fabulous, and I was really surprised that I could have it. So I've been using it ever since, and that's
Wait, Shirley, you're telling me, wait, you moved in when November? That's about 5-6 months ago. So you've been stealing my Wi-Fi. Is that what you're saying?
No. Why would you say I was stealing it? You let me have it. You said,
no.
Hang on a second. That's not nice. I mean, you were so welcoming when I first moved in. Don't say stealing. That's really not nice. It really hurts my feelings. No, you made me welcome. So, of course.
Okay, so what do you call it then?
I've been using your password because I did. I mean, I was in the house. You were making me coffee, and I saw your sticker. I thought, oh, lovely. Make myself at home. So I did. I took your I took your Wi-Fi thing, and I've been using that as a neighbour would. I mean, I even given it to Jim when his broke down. And I said, well, I've got Tim's one here. You can borrow.
Even to live off others, you need to have talent. I'm telling you, people today have no shame. She saw that they welcomed her, and somehow she thought that included their Wi-Fi, so she felt right at home stealing it. I can't stop laughing at the audacity of this woman. Even to be a shameless person, you need talent. She set up her business using her neighbor's internet and even took the liberty to share it with another neighbor. But you can't make this stuff up. She didn't just settle for using it herself. She set up a business and even shared it. But I wouldn't let that woman in my house again. Who knows, she might empty my pantry after I say welcome, or clone my credit card, or tap into my electricity. As she says, don't use that ugly word steal. It hurts my feelings. Stealing is now a hobby, and on top of that, She knows what's going on in other neighbors' houses. Like I said, even to be shameless, you need talent.
Listen, am I the most attractive girl in the world? No. But do I have a great personality? Also no. But do I wake up every morning and try and be the best person I can be? No.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we bring you a story about a woman who shares how her fiancé's ex-wife ended up in the hospital due to her envy and manipulation. Also, we have a woman telling us that if a man can't buy a ring that costs more than 3 months of a 6-figure salary, he's not an alpha male. We want to invite you to smash that like button and help us reach 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year and get our first plaque. That's the only support we ask from you, man. Add your grain of sand to the movement, share your experience in the comments for any man who needs it, and without further introduction, let's get started.
How much an alpha man should cough up for a wedding ring?
An alpha man? Oh, I can't wait to hear how much an alpha man should spend on a wedding ring.
From my understanding, a guy should be spending 3 months' salary on a ring.
Traditionally, that has been customary. However, that is not at all required. A lot of women are very happy with rings that cost a lot less. However, I'm sure that there's more to this.
So if that isn't 6 figures, you probably shouldn't be getting married.
Holy classist mentality, Batman. To actually have the audacity to say that if a person doesn't make 6 figures in 3 months, then they have no business getting married. Is one not aware that the average American doesn't even make 6 figures in a year? I guess there's a lot of people, in one's opinion, that shouldn't be getting married. But there's more.
Like, if he's not spending that, does he really love you, or does he just want a hot trophy wife?
What? Now, how exactly did that make any sense? But moreover, it's my opinion that any woman that would expect a man to spend 6 figures on her wedding ring is not after the man himself for who he is. She's only after his money.
Oh, hell no!
We've talked on this channel about how a man's social value is tied to his level of success, while a woman's is tied to her level of beauty. But here's the thing. On the wedding day, only one of them is getting married for love, and that's the man. The woman is in it for the lifestyle. Many of these women only care about the ring and the wedding. Women who think like this one are clearly not wife material. It's well known that if a couple planning to get married doesn't pay proper attention to the costs of living together, they might end up breaking up due to financial issues. So I ask you, what's more important? Spending an insane amount on a ring that will only be a loss in the long run, or buying a modest ring and having a modest wedding, but using that money for your long-term life project? Because there are rings that could easily finance a house. These are the tests a man should put his woman through, whether she's more interested in a ring and a big wedding or in our future together.
Am I the asshole for putting shit on my fiance's copycat baby mama during her wedding? I, female 32, got with my fiance, male 40, about 2 years ago. My future husband has 3 kids with his ex. For context, fiance and I have been engaged for a year, and I've been having fun looking at all kinds of wedding and wedding ideas, from themed weddings to small and intimate weddings. I even looked at destination weddings and weddings outdoors. Now, biomom, female 37, is jealous and evil. Like supervillain level evil. Why do I say this? Because she cheated on my fiance not once, but twice, and gave him STDs for her efforts. Somehow, I magically cast a spell on her and made her sleep around before I even met her. Because she says I'm the reason there are problems to my 3 stepkids. Male 7, female 12, female 16. But luckily, the oldest of my stepkids knows her bullshit and tells the other kids to ignore her.
Oh, that's good.
Now, baby mama found her fabulous husband on Bumble. And while I normally try to stay away from baby mama and her bullshit completely, I took issue with her telling the kids that this joker is their real daddy and to call him as such, which the kids told me and future husband made them uncomfortable. And she then commanded them to start calling my fiance by his first name. Nope, not on my watch. I confronted her about it when she came that evening to get the kids and told her it was inappropriate to demand these things of the kids. How would you feel if fiance did this? Bear in mind, this woman is high conflict on steroids, so I was ready for a fight. Instead, she smiled sweetly at me, although it didn't meet her eyes, and told me I was absolutely right, and then thanked me for helping her to see the error of her ways.
There's something every man should know, and this can be confirmed by divorced men or those who have had very toxic partners. The ex always tries to influence your life, especially when you have kids. How do they do it? They try to turn the kids against you, or make sure they don't get along with the father's future partners. This is even worse when she's the one who asked for the divorce or cheated and ruined the marriage because they do it out of pure envy and jealousy toward your new partner. What is this man's ex-wife doing? She's causing a violent reaction from the father of her children and the stepmother so she can play the victim in front of the kids or get into the head of the father and his new woman. Women won't hurt you with physical force, but they will with psychological attacks and manipulation. But let's continue with the story.
She shifted some as I stared at her like she had 12 heads, when I noticed behind her that the car I had recently told my fiancé and my stepkids that I wanted was parked behind her with the hazards on. It was even in my favorite color, green. Baby mama hates the color green, having stated at one point or another that it makes her think of rotting food or the Wicked Witch of the West. I stared at the car and she noticed, and that's when the most sadistic grin came across her face. I kept my cool and tossed my head up at the aforementioned vehicle, asking, "New ride?" Her smirk never left her face as she told me that her fiancé got it for her as a wedding gift, as he insisted his new family ride in style. Mind you that the car is a Land Rover, and that is well above the financial capabilities of this woman and her fiancé combined. That's not a shot. That's a genuine observation. My fiancé and I helped out BioMom last year with taxes, so we know exactly how much she makes. About 2 months ago, there was a period of calm with BioMom where we weren't friends or even really friendly, but cordial. She started telling me about all the wedding plans she had coming up and wanted an extra opinion. I was a little taken aback, especially when I know she knows the kids, my fiancé and myself, though I haven't publicized my opinion, not my monkey and not my circus, all think them getting married after going on 3 dates over 3 weeks, suddenly moving in and now getting married after a max of barely 3 months of knowing one another and being involved with each other is a terrible and possibly dangerous idea. Baby mama doesn't know this guy. What if he's a serial killer or hurts kids? The safety of the kids is the responsibility of every adult that is in their lives, and this seems psychotically irresponsible to me. But again, I step back and keep my thoughts to myself, allowing fiancé and my stepkids to voice their feelings. That being said, instead of asking if she lost her mind, I nodded politely and said, "Sure thing." She asked what I thought of dark blue for bridesmaids' dresses, and I shrugged, asking in response if that's what she wanted. She said she wasn't sure and was curious what colors I was planning on having. Quote, "So we don't have the same thing."
Oh my God.
I do know my colors, wine, emerald green, and gold, but I wasn't about to make the mistake of telling her this. I saw the trap laid before me as soon as the lies were out of her mouth, and without missing a beat, I said, "Brown." Just so everyone is aware, I detest the color brown. She stared. "Brown?" I nodded. "Brown. I feel like I want a very earthy and nature-based wedding, like complete with a soil bonding ceremony." For the record, soil bonding is not a thing. I totally made it up. And I told her that's where you stick your hands in a freshly dug up and fertilized pile of soil, touch your hands to your significant other's cheeks, and vow to return to the earth with them.
What did I tell you? Pure and simple manipulation. Women are the most territorial beings out there. They're so selfish that even after leaving you as a partner, they still consider you their property. Since they don't like admitting they're wrong, they always try to make the father's life miserable with the new woman. What is she doing? She's trying to manipulate the kids and the new wife, listening to what she wants and then doing it herself first. Just like the stepmother says, she doesn't know this man. She's rushing to get married just to do it before the stepmother with the ex-husband. The ex-wife probably doesn't even love her new boyfriend, but she wants to make herself feel important, just like she did by buying that SUV. This clearly shows how women make emotional decisions, which is why they always end up regretting their stupid choices because they act on emotion. That's why, after they fail, they want us to feel sorry for them because, as we know, responsibility is kryptonite for women. But let's see, this is where the video gets good.
Biomom looked at me and made a face, saying, "Oh, interesting." Fast forward to 2 weeks ago, and her wedding came. I hadn't forgotten about what I'd said, but I didn't really think about it, and it didn't really matter what baby mama chose in the end, as fiance and I weren't invited to the wedding, nor did we want to go. Jump to last weekend, and my oldest stepdaughter called me and asked me to come get her and her siblings from urgent care. I was flying out the door when I asked what happened, and she explained that her mom and stepdad had gotten ringworm and brought home a couple of other things from the soil/manure combo they used at their wedding, and didn't know about it until they became very symptomatic. Oh. I told my fiance about what happened, and he laughed hysterically until he cried. He called his brother to tell him what happened. His brother and my fiance's ex hate each other, but to my shock, my future brother-in-law said this was absolutely not funny, and people could have been seriously hurt or worse as a result of my shenanigans and petty behavior.
Oh, please.
My fiance stood up for me, saying that high conflict baby mama decided for herself to do this, and who in their right mind would smear fresh manure on their faces?
Oh my God. I cannot believe that the brother said that was crossing the line.
Brother-in-law called me a schmuck, saying I was the asshole in the situation, and even went so far as to say this could be classified as attempted murder.
What? Is this guy okay?
My fiance said not to worry about it, but now I'm actually wondering if I did something wrong.
No.
Am I the asshole?
You didn't do anything wrong. So if she said she wanted to get married and then jump off the Brooklyn Bridge, that woman would have done it. It's stupid, but envy blinds people. She wanted to be the first to do what the stepmother planned for her wedding just to ruin her party, or to say that the stepmother copied everything from her. Here we can see how women, driven by emotional decisions, are capable of smearing horse manure on their faces just to achieve their goals. It serves her right for being envious, and the new boyfriend must be crazier than she is for going along with it. The stepmother's fiancé's brother should keep his opinion to himself. No one threatened her to smear her face with manure. It's because of men like him, who don't let women face the consequences of their own decisions, that we live in a world where they want to do whatever they please with men. So she deserved what happened to her because of her envious actions.
If you have not heard of the 369 rule, allow me to enlighten you. This is a common phenomenon used to describe the stages in a relationship. So if you ever plan on being in one, then let me explain to you what this is. So the first 3 months of dating or talking to somebody, this is the honeymoon phase. Things are going to be super easy. You guys are just going to be like madly in love with each other. Next, when 6 months hit, this is where things are going to start to get rocky. That honeymoon phase is over. You guys have been with each other long enough now to know each other's faults, and some things start to bother you. However, the last phase, when you make it to 9 months, this is when things start to calm down. And since you made it through that 6-month period where things were really hard, this is how you know you guys are going to stay together and that you have a really good relationship. 9 months is kind of when you start acting like a married couple. But disclaimer, guys, 369 continues. It's like a cycle that repeats itself. So don't be surprised if you go through these exact same stages after 9 months. If you guys want more tips and tricks on relationships, I'm your girl.
There's a statistic that says marriages in the United States that end within their first year range from 10% to 12%. In relationships, there's what she calls the infatuation stage, that period where everything is beautiful. The man courts the woman more. There's probably more intimacy and desire because everything is new and exciting. But the key here is not to live in that stage, because over time, the relationship needs to mature. The mistake happens when people get married after just a few months and then don't even last a year because, in reality, they didn't love each other. They just had a good time for a few months. They hadn't spent enough time together to see what was really in store. That's why you see women going from man to man, because they never mature and move beyond the infatuation stage. That's why I always recommend to men that before deciding to marry someone, live together for a while first. Observe how that person treats you, because how they treat you will be how your married life will be. Once you sign that contract with the state, you're one step away from your life being wonderful, but also one step away from being financially ruined.
I hate when a man plays the whole, oh, but if there was no men, who would protect the women? Protect us from who? Lions and tigers and bears? I've seen enough middle-aged American women on my For You page taming animals that should never be tamed. We're good. Just to add, I would also be terrified if a lion were chasing me down the street, of course. I would be 1,000 times more scared if 5 men in balaclavas was chasing me down the street. If that doesn't say it all.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we will see how women try to exert control over the beta provider, how a man discovers his wife's infidelity, and we will also talk about the modern woman's work husband. We want to invite you to smash that like button and help us reach 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year to get our first plaque. That's the only support we ask of you, man. Add your grain of sand to the movement and share your experience in the comments for any man who needs it. Without further introduction, let's get started.
Here's going to be our total for today.
Really?
What?
You accept cards, right? At least
Yeah,
we have
absolutely.
Apple.
Card is perfect.
You have Apple, right?
Am I supposed to pay for this?
Why did you come here? Just watch me pay? Spend my own money?
Expect me to pay for the photos? I'm sorry, but what?
Okay, let me tell you. See this line? This is from not posting on National Girlfriend's Day. This line's from yesterday when you liked that girl's page. You should.
That was an AI photo.
I don't care.
About
It stressed me out so much. My ex would never do this to me. You should.
Your ex cheated on you with your sister.
That was an accident. Please pay for this. It's your responsibility.
Why is it my responsibility to pay for your Botox? I'm sorry. Can you please just give us one minute?
No.
1 minute.
We're good. You can stay.
1 minute.
I promise to God I will date your dad again. I will match with my wife if you don't pay for this. I'm not
You're kidding me if you actually want me to pay for this.
Hell to the no, no. Hell no.
This is a parody, but here I want to highlight the control a woman can exert over a man. There are women who see some men like this guy, merely as a walking wallet, a man there with simply because he pays for their stuff, not because they actually like him. Why does she mention her ex? Because he's the guy who truly excites her, even if he cheated on her. This clearly shows the power dynamics in this relationship, who controls whom. If this man firmly said he wouldn't pay for her and walked away immediately, it would leave a strong impact on her. I bet she would then try to qualify herself to her man. But what did this beta provider do? The exact opposite. He tries to justify not paying. She's already got him. She starts with her threats. If you fall into a woman's game, you'll end up losing due to lack of experience. She brought you into her field, making you convince yourself that you have to pay to keep her happy, to get intimacy from her. You should never be the man who has to justify his decisions when you're in the right, because that makes you appear weak in her eyes.
A gift, happy birthday.
Just one?
Yeah, you only get to pick one gift, so make sure it's the right one.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna mix these gifts around a little bit, okay? Whoa, mix the gifts.
Why don't I get all three?
Mixing the gifts. Because it's fun, babe. It's a fun game. So go ahead and just pick one gift. You can pick this one, or this one, or this one.
I mean, I like that you actually took the time to put a bow on this one, so...
Okay, so yeah, why don't you go ahead and pick that one?
Okay.
Let's see what it is. Let's see what your gift is. Cash. A lot of cash. So great. I'm glad you picked that one. So that is your gift.
Okay, is this like a joke? There's like a bunch of 5s and 1s in here.
Yeah, it's like $200.
$200 for my birthday?
Babe, do you know how many people would be happy to get $200 in this world?
Don't you think that's like a little cheap?
Okay, if you want, you can exchange it for a different gift. You want one of these two instead?
Yeah, like... Do Do you seriously think I would just want cash?
Okay, I think that most people would be extremely happy to get $200. So I'm gonna mix these two up a bit, create a little drama and suspense. We love drama and suspense. All right, which one are you gonna pick? Do you wanna pick the big one or do you wanna pick the little one? Think hard now. One of those two is life-changing, okay? So make sure that you pick the life-changing one if you want your life to be changed. If you're happy with your life, then don't pick the life-changing one.
I'm sure it's life-changing.
You're sure it's life-changing? You seem so thrilled.
Okay.
The birthday girl is so happy. Okay, great. Yeah, that's good. Why don't you go ahead and pick that one then? What is it? What is it? What could it be? What could it possibly be? It is jewelry. Wow, look at that beautiful jewelry. There's a couple of necklaces I got you.
Is this like costume jewelry?
No, it's like expensive jewelry. It's like $2,000 jewelry.
$2,000.
Yeah, it's $2,000 jewelry. It's better than the cash.
Why didn't it come in like a nice fitted box? Like most of the jewelry, like this should each individually have its own.
I took it out so that it would look cool coming out of the box. I thought it would be fine. I'm sorry, I don't know
This
how
looks
jewelry.
cheap. This one's missing a piece.
Okay, well, do me a favor. Why don't you take the jewelry and put it right there in front of that big box? Yeah, take all of the jewelry, take all of that jewelry and put it right in front of the big box. Yeah, slide it over, that little one too.
This is so tacky.
Yeah, slide it over. I
Look,
think it's pretty.
missing a piece.
Okay, well,
Did you get this at a thrift store?
yeah, but it's still expensive. I got it from a pawn. Like, it's legitimate, beautiful jewelry. I got a good deal
So
on
you
it.
got it resale.
Okay, do me a favor.
This is why I always say never be with a woman who doesn't treat you as her best option. When a woman doesn't like you, no matter what you do, it won't be well received. Just like this man's gifts to this woman. Before the gift, you can already see her lack of interest, and even with the expensive gifts, she shows not even a hint of gratitude. This woman makes it clear that this man was never her first or best choice. He was her safe option, the beta provider who bought her presents but didn't earn her love. He's the man a woman seeks in her 30s just to secure her financial future, but who doesn't generate any genuine romantic interest. Brothers, never be with a woman who complains or shows little appreciation for everything you do for her because you'll end up living a life of dissatisfaction, always trying to make her happy. But let's watch the second part to see the final gift.
I'm gonna give you a choice, okay? Okay? You can keep the jewelry and the money, or you can trade it both for whatever is in the big box. The big box is a life-changing gift, okay? So you can either keep this $200 and this $2,000 jewelry, and we will never speak of what's in that big box, or you can go ahead and trade both of these for the big box. What is it that you want to do?
There's no way for my birthday that you got me $200 cash or pawned gold.
Okay. Pawn gold is still gold. It's the same element, okay?
That had to be a joke.
A joke.
So definitely I'm hoping that this was all just like a silly prank.
So you think that this whole week at the office, I was like, I'm gonna prank my wife. I'm gonna give her $2,000 worth of jewelry and $200 cash, and that is gonna be like such a funny joke.
I'm assuming like that one of your friends convinced you to do this because they know that I would be clearly extremely upset.
Right.
If I was getting $2,000 worth of gold.
Right.
Along with $200 for my birthday.
Okay, so what do you think is in there? It's life-changing. What are you hoping for? What do you want it to be?
Okay, so it better be
That box right there.
Business class flight to Fiji or a private jet.
Or a private jet, okay.
Or you bought me a house.
Or a house, okay.
In France.
Okay.
Because I know I've been wanting that.
Yeah. Okay, so you're hoping that in there is a deed to a house in France, or 2 business class plane tickets
to Italy.
Or
I also asked for my own private jet.
Or your own private jet. Right.
US.
A deed, a gift certificate, I guess, to a private jet company. Okay, so let me ask.
No, like I thought you said before that that eventually you would buy me a private jet so that when I'm taking domestic flights, I can just take the jet.
Yeah. God forbid you have to fly commercial. Okay, let me ask you this. So let's say it's two tickets, huh? Let's say it's 2 tickets to Italy, business class. Who would you want to bring, me or your friend Steve? Would you want to bring me or Steve?
You, of course.
Me, of course, me. Okay, cool. Well, then why don't you go ahead and open up that box.
Okay.
And see what it is. I know, that big smile, life-changing gift. What is that? Look, turn it around. Show the camera.
What?
Oh my gosh, that's you and Steve cheating on me. You're not getting any of this stuff. Get out of my house.
Gotcha, bitch!
God, I love the ending. For that ungrateful woman, asking for a private jet, a house. What you're getting for being a narcissist is a kick in the rear out to the streets where you belong. See, I imagine something like this. This isn't the body language of a woman who loves a man. It's clear that she's in the relationship for what she's being offered, not for love. When a woman truly loves you, the gift itself doesn't matter. What matters is that you gave it to her. Do you know how many women have never received a gift worth more than $500 in their lives? And even fewer have received something worth $2,200 from their husband. This is why I always tell men to pay attention to whether their partner is investing in them, if she's qualifying herself to you, if she treats you with love, gives you gifts, or even prepares a meal for you. It doesn't have to be material. Just analyze the effort she puts in for you. Look at how she receives what you bring to the table. Because if she doesn't treat you like the best option she could get, it means she doesn't admire and respect you as a partner. You're just being used as a walking wallet. The ending of this video was satisfying, but check out the next video.
What? I'm ticklish. No, you're not. You ain't ticklish right there. I've been on my feet all day. I'm gonna give you a foot massage. No, boy, bye. What you mean? Holler at me when I get on break. You holler at me? Why you treating me so good? I know your love language is acts of service. I just want to show you how you should really be appreciated. I'm about to go to Starbucks for you. You want your same usual, caramel frap, caramel on top and the bottom with some whipped cream? Not you know my whole Starbucks order by heart. I mean, somebody got to pay attention to your cute ass. You don't be answering your phone, man. I've been calling you all day. Got me driving your car. You ain't put no gas in here, man. Why you always yelling at you? It's like, then you can't make a mistake. Let Steph Curry miss a 3 and then he mess up his parlay. He'll forgive him. That's him calling back? Yes. Don't even answer. You want me to give you a ride home? I'm gonna wait. You gonna wait for him? Yeah. All right, where my hug at? See you. Ooh, you smell good. Look, don't start. All right. Damn!
What you're seeing in that video is called the work husband. He's the guy who usually gets with all the empowered women in the office, the one who, through acts of service, steals your woman. This man only gets the good side, while you, at home, get the complaints. This is why I'm skeptical of empowered women. They're the first to like having this type of man around because they themselves have that masculine energy. You know what? They can do it, and no one will notice in the end. So, if you notice that your woman is always mentioning her friend from work, Steve, brothers, that's her work husband. He's the one getting all the good parts of your relationship. If you have any doubts, just check the comments on this video. I used to get mad and throw paper at my work husband when he would flirt with our co-workers. Work boyfriends are always the best. Trust me, I've had a few. My guy bout to have dudes parked at their girl job for 8 hours. See, now our mans won't trust us. It's not even like this. My mom did this, but now her and the dude she cheated with my dad at work, they both broke now and my dad has his own company. My work husband is actually my real husband. Did you hear how one of them said, I've had several of those, or how they say, that's my real husband? Then they turn around and claim that men are the ones who cheat on women when it's actually them who can't stay loyal to their man and their marriage vows. That's why if she cheats on you, send her to the wall and keep moving forward, my king. Something better always comes along. After she has her fun, she'll realize how unforgiving the wall can be. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Have you ever been a woman's work husband or known women at your job who cheat while being married? What did you think of this man's surprise to that unfaithful woman? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.